Hello everyone, I am Pitamber Yadav, and today we will be talking about calling for a caucus in a mediation session. There's a lot of literature on this point, and there are a lot of different practices that are followed around the world. There are some mediation practitioners that believe that there is no need of a private session in a mediation, and they would like to work with the parties without using a private session. Whereas there are different sets of mediation practitioners that highlight and use private session extensively while working with the parties in a mediation session. Now we come to an important question as to when is the right time for us to call for a private session during a mediation for a competition purpose. And answer to this involves understanding a lot of different criteria and a lot of keeping in mind a lot of different tangibles. Once you have entered into an issue exploration phase after the issues have been listed down during the agenda making session and parties have had a chance to have a discussion on these issues at least once, I think then would be an ideal time for you to enter into a private session with the parties and continue the discussion in a private session. But keep in mind how much time is left for you during the session. If there have been circumstances and situations in the past where teams are left with no time at all to call for a private session, and there have also been situations where a mediator has only been able to conduct one private session with one of the parties, and there is no time left for him to go back to the other party and conduct a private session there. Now, it is important for you to pace your mediation session accordingly and be very mindful of how much time is actually left in the mediation session when you call for a private session. Because if there is not much time left, then it would be ideal that you continue with the discussion and conduct private session maybe in the next mediation session when you've had a much more information on the table. There is also one thing that you need to be mindful about, that there are some competitions in the world that only allow for a mediator to call for a private session. And there are some competitions that allow both the negotiating parties and the mediator to call for a private session. So before you go into a competition, please be mindful of the rules of the competition and understand whether you as a party have the right to call for a private session or not. Also, I would like to highlight here that if there is no mandate in the competition that you have to conduct a private session, then it will be ideal for you to not even go ahead with the private session if you feel that there is no need for one. There are situations where mediator does a wonderful job that you don't actually need a private session. So calling a private session just as a compulsion would not be recommended in a competition which does not require a private session to be conducted. So again, I would like to repeat for all the participants and all the students that once the agendas have been made and parties have had a chance to discuss the issues in the issue exploration phase, then I think would be an ideal time to call for a private session, because there would be enough information on the table for parties to work with during the private session with the mediator, and that would be an ideal situation for conducting a private session in a competition. And I hope this video helps you in getting understanding a different perspective towards calling for a caucus, and I wish you all the best for the competition. Thank you.